'Tis wintry. It's Friday, January 24th, and I'm cooking noodles. Oh, it beat me. Way to fuck it up, noodles. So yes, this is going on today. And yes, my Halloween decorations are still outside. I didn't get them in before all of this, so now they're wet again. And shall be for a bit. But anyway, it's a perfect day to sit down with some movies, of which I haven't picked out a chunk yet today. So, let's just grab a few here. We'll grab that chunk, maybe. Ooh. As long as the whole thing doesn't fall down on our heads. Don't really think you can do that because it's not that tall, but I do have 11 minutes of taping time left, so we'll see how that works out. Oh, and I have to turn on my fancy lights here. My fancy lights is an Internet Explorer window that helps me be lit up here. On well, we already set the date. I set the date. You had nothing to do with it. This is our comedy movies for today, our little pile of comedy movies. I grabbed about half a stack over there, so let's see what we ended up with. We have Zoolander. This is... What is this, a school for ants? I don't know why that upset Ming-Si so much, but no, Ben Stiller plays a, clueless model, giving the blue steel, I think that's what it's called, right? That's the blue steel. Something like that. And he's an idiot. That's putting it nicely. 'Cause yeah, that's one of the moments that gets quoted a lot. I think it was even in the trailer, but they're talking about building this this school, Derek Zoolander School for Kids Who Can't Read Good, and or something like that. It's some ridiculous name or whatever, and he goes across and he knocks it angrily off. There's like this little model that they've put together to show him what it'll look like, and he goes across and knocks it off the table angrily, and that's what he said. He's like, "What is this? A school for ants?" Because it's tiny, and he thinks that's the actual building that they're going to be trying to, have their schooling in. There's some kind of plot with Will Ferrell and some kind of something, but I don't know. I never saw Zoolander 2, which is a shame, because this one was definitely a fun watch. To watch. So I watched it. Mom texted me, "It snowed." It sure did. And you know what? I need to plug in this thing before... It went from having 11 minutes to having 5 minutes, it just told me. Now it's to 4 minutes. So let's make sure that I can continue to record. Plug into... Oops, I should probably grab... Everything's going wrong. Everything's going wrong. But at least it's my weekend now, and I don't have to get out and that stuff. I can just look at it, and it is pretty. It's nice to look at, but I definitely don't want to be out anywhere in it. Anyway, and there's my furnace. Thank you. Hopefully you can't hear me and hear it, only it. This is a comedy classic, I would say, and I need to reintroduce myself to it. Adventures in Babysitting. It's been so long since I've seen this movie, and I don't really remember it, but you don't fuck with the babysitter. That much I do remember. It's basically, I think it's Elizabeth Shue, right? Yes. Agrees to babysit after her dread date stands her up. Expecting a dull evening, Chris settles down with 3 kids for a night of TV and boredom. That's what she thinks. That's not what she gets, of course. But when her frantic friend Brenda calls and pleads to be rescued from the bus station in downtown Chicago, the evening soon explodes into an endless whirl of hair-raising adventures. Babysitter and kids leave the safe suburban surroundings and head for the heart of the big city, never imagining how terrifyingly funny their expedition will become. And of course, there's the little girl who, just wants to be Thor. Hey, you can see my screen in the in the case. I did see this a long time ago, and I don't know why my phone's lighting up, but it is. Okay, whatever. It's possessed. Who cares? And I saw this a long time ago, or at least bits and pieces of this when I was a kid. Let's see, it came out in 1987. So I would have been 7 when this came out, or 8 by the time maybe it made it to VHS. They were not DVDs back then, and certainly not Blu-rays. Oh, I just noticed I got a little scuff here in the case. Got a little scuff there in the case. But anyway, yes, this is a what I would consider a classic, and a movie I need to reintroduce myself to. Perhaps today, since I've got plenty of TV to watch them to catch up on. But obviously, I'm not going anywhere today. Obviously, Mom is not coming down this weekend because of all of that. But also something else I need to see. Oh, I've got both of these together. Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny. I've never seen this, but of course, Jack Black. It's always a good time, usually, unless you get tired of his shtick. I guess that's possible. I suppose. Movie money to see the Golden Compass apparently came with this. This is why it's open, because I got the movie money out to go see the Golden Compass, and then did not watch the movie itself. Did not watch the movie itself. Authentic DVDs. Keep it real. That's probably saying something. Why settle for anything less than the real thing? Don't get burned. Don't steal your shit. Don't steal their shit. They don't want you to steal their shit. An epic quest, a magic guitar pick, a chance to put the D in destiny. Witness the birth of Tenacious D, the greatest and craziest rock band ever, in a movie destined to become the most hilarious musical epic since This Is Spinal Tap. I'm not gonna sneeze. I gave up on it. Featuring many A-list movie and rock star cameos, this laugh-a-minute riot is sure to have you begging for an encore. On a fateful day in Venice Beach, JB, Jack Black, and KG, Kyle Gass, meet and realize they are destined to make history by combining their musical genius. But when overnight success eludes them, they set out to find the legendary Pick of Destiny, a special guitar pick believed to possess magical powers that can make any open mic wannabe a rock legend. Their epic quest, which include run-ins with the law, sorority hotties, and Sasquatch, will make you laugh till it hurts, and then you'll laugh some more. If you didn't know, Jack Black and this guy, Tenacious D is actually their band. They have a band together. So they made a movie about their band and a magic pick of destiny, which I have not seen. But also, here is Jack Black in Nacho Libre, another movie I have not watched, even though this one is open. For some reason, I don't know why. Did I buy it used? Maybe. He's Nacho Average Hero. Nacho Average Hero. Jack Black is more hilarious than ever as Ignacio, a mysterious cook, or a monastery cook. Sorry. He could be a mysterious monastery cook. You don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Who feeds orphan children by day and by night transforms himself into Nacho Libre, a notorious luchador in stretchy pants. Spurred on by Esquelito, the skeleton, a street peasant turned sidekick, Nacho challenges Mexico's most fearsome wrestlers as he fights to save the children and win the affections of Sister Encarnacion, his inspiration and forbidden love. From the creators of Napoleon Dynamite and the writers of School of Rock, Nacho Libre packs big laughs from start to finish. So, I'm sure it might. And someday, if I ever watch it, I'll be able to tell you for sure. This is a movie I have not seen in a while, but I know I very much enjoyed it. Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen. And I suppose Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman, but sure, why not? For 4 years, the courageous crew of the NSEA Protector, Commander Peter Quincy Taggart, which is Tim Allen, Lieutenant Tawny Madison, Sigourney Weaver, and Dr. Lazarus, Alan Rickman, set off on thrilling and often dangerous missions in space, and then their series was cancelled. Now, 20 years later, aliens under attack have mistaken the Galaxy Quest television transmissions for historical documents and beamed up the crew of has-been actors to save the universe. With no script, no director, and no clue, the actors must turn in the performance of their lives in this hilarious adventure Jeffrey Lyons calls the funniest, wittiest comedy of the year. So, it sounds like it's very similar to a movie I have not seen and I wanted to. It's another Jack Black movie where they're actors and they think they're in a war, but it turns out they're actually, they think they're acting in a war, but they're actually in a war. I don't know. Very similar to that, though. But this is, also has some fun, science fiction-y parts to it. So it's like a science fiction comedy. So that's fun. And I do remember, from what I remember of watching this, I did enjoy it. So, and maybe someday I'll watch it again and remind myself of the whole thing. But still trying to think of that movie. Here we have spoof. That was the word I was trying to come up with yesterday with the Hot Shots. Spoof movie. We have Meet the Spartans. It had its moments. I don't necessarily know that there were that many of them. But yeah, you can see all these things on the back, like Transformers and the 300 and Shrek, little baby Shrek there. So, the good thing about these movies is there's got to be at least one or two jokes that land, and I'm sure there was. I don't necessarily remember there being that many of them. But I'm sure there was at least one or two that I enjoyed and got a chuckle out of. But it's not one that I could highly recommend from what I remember. But if you like spoof movies, meh. I suppose it's worth a watch, even just for that. Oh my gosh, what is all this stuff? Oops, I didn't need that one, but that's okay. Well, here we also have, in the same vein, we have Epic Movie, which I don't know if I ever actually saw it or not. The one I'm thinking of, there's one of these films that has, oh, for fuck's sake, my brain, working about as good as it usually does. Allison Hannigan. I'm like, oh my god, how do I forget fucking Willow from Buffy? I shouldn't. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't worry. Is it Date Movie? Is that the one that she's in? I watched it because, well, it's a spoof movie, and Allison Hannigan, I had to watch it for Allison Hannigan. I want to say that's Date Movie. It's definitely near the bottom of the list of me for spoof movies. I don't believe I own that one, but apparently I own Epic Movie. I cannot say for sure that I have watched this one to know for sure if it's good or not. But hey, they spoof Nacho Libre, so that works. I guess, in terms of that. Oh, we done? We not done. Boom. Superhero movie. It's got a shiny slipcover. See, it's got a shiny slipcover, and it's the extended edition. So it's got all of these. It basically, like, he's kind of if you've seen the movie Kick-Ass, he's kind of the Kick-Ass character in this. Isn't it Drake Bell? Isn't he the one? Yeah, Drake Bell is the one in this. So they spoof all the superhero movies, basically. I can't remember this one being very good either, but it is superheroes, and that's fun. It has Leslie Nielsen in it as well. So, yeah. I don't recall this being one of my favorites, but it's a spoof movie and it's a superhero movie, so it has a lot of things that I enjoy, I suppose, but I don't remember exactly being blown away by this one in terms of being a spoof movie. So, it's okay. I want to say this one might have been somewhere near the middle ground for me. It's definitely above Date Movie. Most of them are. I'm even going to say it was better than Meet the Spartans because of the... is that what I just looked at that one. Meet the Spartans. Yes, that's the one that I'm talking about. I'm going to say it's above that one. But it's still mid to low on my list of spoof movies that I have enjoyed. So, but if you enjoy, comic books and nerdyisms, there's probably some jokes in here that you can enjoy. And like I said, most of these movies, they're good to watch because, they usually have at least a joke or two that land with something just to see. But now we are moving on to greener pastures, much greener pastures, and welcome to Mooseport. I enjoyed this one very much. I believe they're competing to be mayor of Mooseport. Cast your ballots for big laughs when Gene Hackman and Ray Romano find themselves in a hilariously heated race for mayor of Mooseport, Maine. A local plumber, Romano, is plunged into the national spotlight when he takes on the former president of the United States, Hackman, who can't believe he's running against the man installing his toilets. Whoever wins, one thing's for sure, this town isn't small enough for the both of them. So, I remember, they played off each other well and had some good, had some very good moments and a good plot to go all the way through it, because I want to say that Gene Hackman might be it's kind of like the big man versus the the small timer or whatever, because I think he kind of is a little bit of a dick maybe, and of course he's kind of the everyman, the nice guy or whatever. So there's a good story and good back and forth between these two in Welcome to Mooseport. It's one of my more favorite comedies ever, I believe. I remember regarding it very highly, so I would definitely say that Welcome to Mooseport is not only worth a watch, but probably owning to watch again, in case you ever wanted to. Now, the last thing in my pile here is something I didn't intend to pick up. I wasn't going to show these off, because they're technically not movies, but I accidentally ended up with my stand-up special from The Amazing Jonathan. And he is a comedian slash magician, comedician maybe, and he's really good at it. He's I've seen some other people who are okay, but The Amazing Jonathan, if you're looking for magic slash comedy, he's definitely your go-to guy right here. Well, I guess there's Penn and Teller. I shouldn't say that, I suppose, but I don't own any stand-up specials from Penn and Teller. I own one for The Amazing Jonathan. His can kind of be, it's I don't necessarily know for sure about Penn and Teller, but his humor can be kind of crude. Some of his magic tricks can be a little bit risque in some ways. I seem to remember there's one, maybe in this stand-up special itself, where he has, he ends up with a sword through his tongue. So it can be kind of out there, kind of comedy slash magic slash everything. But he's definitely interesting to watch for that. I guess because you just never know what's going to happen. Um, bold, I suppose. And like I said, I didn't intend to end up with this in my pile, but there it is. I do have some stand-up specials. I don't know. Maybe I could include them too. They're not necessarily movies, or I could put them in their own. I mean, it's basically the same people over and over again. So I've got a lot of Jeff Dunham over there. But anyway, that's today's pile, day 2 of my comedy. You probably shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm saying. Ever. Not even half the time. All the time. Ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm going to stay inside and warm. And, yeah, this would be a good weekend to spend the weekend in my Yeti onesie. I bought it after Christmas for $10, and I left it sitting there. And as you can see, the cats have found it. Right, Ref? He's too busy licking himself to acknowledge me. But there he is. There he is on my Yeti onesie. I missed the dragon, so I wasn't going to miss the... of course, they didn't discount the dragon and all those for a while. They sat around until they got down to like $7 or something. Or $5 maybe. And then, of course, they sold out like that. We only had a few left, but the Yeti one, I was sure to get it. But it would be a good weekend to spend in my Yeti onesie, just warm, snuggly. And that's what I'm probably going to do. I have no reason to go out for a few days. So, anyway, hopefully you are staying nice and warm wherever you are, if you're covered in snow or whatever. And, I don't know, kind of like I did with the horror movies, I don't know if I'll do this every day, or every other day, or every few days, or whatever it is that I do. But anyway, I'll see you for when I see you.